move on to the last session, which is a fireside chat. We have the chairperson, Ms. Joni Teves, Chief Precious Metals Strategist, UBS Investment Bank. She would talk about both platinum as well as women in PGIM. With a round of applause, please welcome Joni Teves.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for sticking it out to the last session of the day, last but hopefully not the least. So I actually wanted to start with a couple of questions for you. So could we please put up the Slido questions on the screen? So if you could please answer this question for me, that would be very helpful. Okay, I think we can change to the next question, please. What type of jewelry are you planning to buy? Is it going to be gold, platinum, or silver? We can stop here, so I quite take the pulse of the room. I actually thought that we would start with this, but before that, I wanted to thank the SBMA for giving the women in PGMs a slot at this conference, and I'm very honored to be representing the women in PGMs and to host this session. So I think this was a good start to the conversation, particularly as we heard the previous session, the excitement about the jewelry demand recovery for platinum, especially coming out of China, has been one of the reasons why the market has been quite optimistic about platinum, and to some extent, depending on what news you're reading, some people are saying that was primarily responsible for the rally in the platinum price. But I wanted to go through kind of my thoughts and our thoughts from UBS in terms of what's been happening in the platinum market. This has certainly been a topic that a lot of investors and market participants have been asking me about in recent weeks, which is quite a change from a period where everybody just wanted to talk about gold. And for the first time in a very long time, I've been walking into meetings and people are telling me, can you please talk to me about platinum and silver and not about gold? So from my perspective, what really happened, as Bruce pointed out, the move really kicked off during Platinum Week in London. Typically, all the excitement around the Platinum Week events tends to create sort of a bullish move in PGM prices, and probably also because a lot of market participants are off the desk, so liquidity is particularly low during that time, so you get this pop in price. But we also, during that week, got the news about the strong demand and the recovery of demand in jewelry in China. I think that's only part of the story. The other reason is that market participants were actually also focusing on the tightness in the platinum market, which has persisted since the beginning of the year. And there was a lot of confusion what was driving this, because on the one hand, it had persisted even as tightness in the jewelry and silver market, which were initially triggered by tariff uncertainty, had eased back. That didn't really happen in platinum. But if you look at sponge premium, which typically indicates the strength of demand or what you could consider real demand, which is from the auto sector and industrial demand sector, it wasn't really indicating that there's strong demand there. So a lot of market participants were confused why there was this tightness in the platinum bar market. So a few reasons why we think this has been the case. Yes, there has been continued inflows of platinum into China, and we think this is linked to a recovery in, the jewelry demand there, and we do have a recovery factored into our supply and demand models. But I think it's also worth putting this into context, right? Because if we look at the actual volumes, at least so far for Q1 and into April, it was still below the levels that we saw last year and still lower than historical average volumes. I think there's still a little bit of, wait and see here. We need to see, how strong this recovery in jewelry demand in China is going to be, relative to the excitement that the market currently has. Because at the end of the day, as we've seen here as well, China and Asia market tends to be a very gold jewelry dominated market. So So I think, yes, there is reason to be excited about this recovery in platinum jewelry demand, but we also have to kind of really watch the flows over the next few months. The other point is that in the last couple of years, investors, and particularly Western investors, funds, macro funds, they have had a preference for platinum. They like platinum's long-term bullish outlook because of expected deficits in the market. But they weren't really kind of compelled to put a position in platinum because the understanding was that these deficits will be largely driven by constrained supply rather than a compelling demand story. The expectation was that automotive demand is going to be weak as the world transitions into more electric vehicles, and in particular this year with the tariff uncertainty and the downside risks that implies for global growth and therefore automotive demand, there was a lot of hesitation to buy into the more industrial white metals like platinum, silver, and palladium. But now that we have this potential, recovery in jewelry demand, a more positive demand story for platinum, in addition to the constrained supply picture, this got a lot of investors excited about platinum and kind of triggered an opportunity for them to put those positions on. And I think we saw that in very strong inflows into ETFs. And also in terms of futures positioning. So I think that also triggered this very large move in platinum prices recently. And always to keep in mind that the platinum market is a very thin market. Liquidity is very, very challenging, especially compared with gold. My understanding is it's about a 10 to 1, 15 to 1 kind of comparison versus gold. So it doesn't really take a lot of volume. It doesn't really take that much investor interest shifting towards platinum in order to move prices to the same extent that we do. So I do feel a bit cautious with the extent of the price move and sort of the speed with which it has occurred. But I think there are upside risks here, particularly if the backwardation in the market, the tightness in the market persists, if the strength in investor interest holds, and particularly if the recovery in jewelry demand in China really plays out, then it does create significant upside risks to the platinum price. So I'll stop here to talk about the market and allow me to shift to focusing on the women in PGMs and particularly the very nice program that the group has with regards to the mentorship program. So I'm really hoping that all the women in the room will get a lot more involved in this program. So just to give a bit of background, the women in PGMs have partnered with an award-winning social impact organization called Moving Ahead. And for the past 2 years, they have designed and delivered an industry-specific cross-company mentoring program for women in PGMs. And more recently, the IPMI as well, which was, the conference was recently concluded in Phoenix last week, I believe. And over the course of the past 2 years, the Women in PGM has welcomed 88 mentees on the program from over 60 organizations. And the individuals work across the entire life cycle of the precious metals industry, from trading, metal accounting, processing, analysis, and more. So we have been so pleased to see that this has had an incredible impact. And this is not just a mentoring opportunity, with our hardworking mentees, but also it has had a good impact or an incredible impact on the mentors, without whom the program would not be possible. So the aim of this program is to be able to support up-and-coming women to create bridges, build connections, and grow their skill set. Through the nature of this cross-company mentoring, we see an increase in our women mentees' confidence and are proud that the program has helped them to build their career skills, grow their networks, and identify opportunities for them to develop, all within a psychologically safe space, and to have the courage to have uncomfortable conversations. So for our wonderful allies who have been taking on the role of mentors, we are pleased to see also that the mentoring program has broadened their understanding of the lived experiences of others and how it can have a positive impact on the ways that they are showing up as leaders. So for this year's upcoming program, the women in PGMs are running a very similar 9-month-long program, and we are looking for individuals who are keen to participate in this amazing initiative. This is something that, when I started my career in the precious metals world many moons ago, I wish there was a program such as this to kind of, help me in my career. So please, for both mentees and mentors, do take advantage of this. So we are looking for mentors with 15 years plus experience, with a will to commit at least 5 mentoring sessions with your mentee throughout the program, which is a minimum of 5 hours in 9 months. To drive your mentee forward and provide guidance and support and offer a psychologically safe environment for them to talk about their issues, their concerns. And for mentees, we are looking for those who have 1 to 15 years of experience in the market, who are early in your careers, and again, are able to commit at least 5 sessions throughout the 9-month program. To support individuals on their mentoring journey, the Moving Ahead group is also going to provide plenty of online resources to support your development, including video resources, virtual live events, and a range of speakers at 3 points throughout the year. The launch, the midway, and the closing of the program, alongside guides to help you structure your meetings and plan your goals. So for those mentors who or might be considering to become mentors, you don't have to worry, because there will be a lot of support along the way. I mean, I guess the best way to convince everyone in the room to get involved, there's actually a video of the experiences and the feedback from both mentees and mentors. And I think they will be much more convincing than everything that I just said. So if we could please roll the video. Thank you.
I signed up for the program because I was a new mother and I was struggling to reconcile myself with my professional identity, and I just felt like I needed someone who could hold my hand through that journey. I also appreciated that my mentor was able to help me to identify my leadership style as I prepared myself to take up this new role.
Over these 2 transformative years, I've not only grown deeply committed to the program's mission, but also formed meaningful connections with my 2 remarkable mentees. Witnessing my mentee weigh risks, embrace vulnerability, and ultimately step into her power has been profoundly inspiring. This partnership transcends traditional guidance. It's more a collaborative evolution. Through active listening and shared problem solving, I've gained fresh perspectives on leadership resilience and cross-cultural adaptability.
The mentoring sessions have made me realise, even in a short period of time, I have gained a deep understanding of PGMs, and that the work I am doing and the experiences I have are transferable both across our business and the wider PGM industry.
I started off as unsure on how to position myself within the company, but I think throughout this journey, I've gained clarity and believe that I'm actually ready for whatever the next steps are within my career. Now I feel like I can actually apply in my role or any other role that I'll be in the future.
being part of this mentoring program has been a great opportunity and a great challenge as well. Thanks to Dr. Asho's holistic approach, not only regarding the business, it resulted to be a fabulous experience. He supported me, empowering my position and leadership.
Mentorship among women is powerful. It's not just about guidance, it is about passing the torch, sparking confidence, and shaping the future. Through the Women in PGMs program, I learned the true power of presence, listening deeply, without judgment. It became more than mentorship. It became a chance to help another woman rise.
I have made a new good friend in my mentee. He spoke and shared with me some of her goals, a dream or two. Seize the moment, go for it. This is a time in your life when you can do such things. And they can be life-changing. But then, of course, the table flipped. And my mentee asked me what were some of my goals. And, have I met all of them? And now, of course, we are both thinking about making some exciting changes and going for some achievements that I know I certainly wouldn't have thought about without this relationship.
Meeting my mentor has been amazing. She has given me such a safe space to be able to talk through my thoughts, my feelings, and how to deal with some of the day-to-day challenges at my workplace with management and quite a difficult work environment. But most importantly, she's helped me navigate through my thought processes of what I want to do going forward in my career, sort of how I got to where I am today, and has given me the confidence to go forward and start a career pivot. So I'm excited for the next steps.
I was quite nervous, and before that I had a call with my mentor, and after that call it had changed everything, because she explained me in that way like I can do it. And after that call I have done great session. Everyone was happy, everyone was commented like you have done a great job. So these two are the big success of this program.
My mentor Doris revealed how she reframes challenges with positive thinking. While balancing pregnancy with job, I struggled with anxiety about my career, my future, my baby, and my family. This program has shown me the collective power of women uplifting women. I've witnessed how feminine leadership combines strength with grace, and how career growth can harmonize with life's beautiful challenges.
Thank you so much for your attention. I think all that's left for me to say is that in the 2 years that the program has been in place, there has been a growth in Asia between 100 to 150% in terms of mentees and mentors. Let's keep that level of growth going. So please sign up. Please get involved. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or the Women in PGMs. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Joni, please. Few more minutes on the stage. Thank you very much for wonderful presentation on both Platinum and also the mentorship program. It's a great way to build capacity. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to honor all the women who have been part of Asia Pacific Precious Metals Conference.